girly girl. But then once I got to high school, everybody was, you're a jock. You're the most popular person in school. So it's, it's tough to be a young kid. But I think, throughout all that, in the later stage of my careers when I became, tougher and mentally strong.
Why, of all the sports you could have gravitated to, Carli, did you go to soccer?
It's just something my parents put me into at age 5. My older cousin played, who is in the book, Jamie Bula, who I looked up to as my role model. I just loved it. I loved the fact of being able to score goals. I loved being able to tackle people. I loved just everything about it. It was fun. It was something that I gravitated towards and always went out and practiced. I think that's the biggest thing. Someone loves something when they don't have to be forced to practice.
Your mother once said, at that age, meaning 5, it was co-ed and Carli was hanging with the boys. She always loved it and showed a lot of ability from an early age, but she also has always worked very hard. That work ethic, what brought that about? What is it about your background that made you have that type of work ethic?
Well, I would say in the youth days of my career, I didn't have a very good work ethic. I would give 80% some days 70, some days 100, and I was never really held accountable by any coach. I think every coach just wanted to win, wanted me out on the field, no matter how much effort I was giving. And I soon realized, the older I got, that you can't just turn it on and off. You need to work hard every single day and be the hardest working player. And that is what James instilled in me. Every question, he asked me every day with the national team was, were you the hardest working player there? Not how many goals did you score or did you thread any through balls? It was, are you the hardest working player? And he asked that to me every single training session with the national team. So it became this thing. Okay, no matter what I do, I have to become the hardest working player. In the youth days, my dedication, was off the charts, I'd say. But as far as the work ethic, I didn't quite have that at a younger age.
Tell me about the Red Baron.
What's the
Your
Red
coach
Baron?
had the nickname, your coach in high school?
Rudy?
Yes.
Klobuck? Okay.
It says Rudy Red Baron.
Yeah. He was great. He was a funny guy. We had a lot of memories throughout high school. Shame made it to 2 state championships and unfortunately fell short. But yeah, I have a lot of memories with him. Unfortunately, he passed away recently, and great times at DHS.
And what about university soccer at Rutgers? That level of competition. What did you learn there?
College taught me just responsibility, factoring in classes and being able to perform, traveling a lot with the under 21 national team. It was a lot. It was a lot to go through. And looking back, I would have probably done some things differently. I would have worked a little bit harder and became a two-way midfielder, but it all worked out. And, the times I spent at Rutgers, I've enjoyed every bit of it. I made some friendships that I still have today, and I got to be able to express myself on the field.
And you've said, too, that you need to play with an edge. What did you mean by that?
Well, I think, I played so long with the chip on my shoulder on the national team and kind of that underdog mentality because I felt like I was sort of a black sheep with the national team. In 2007, I stuck by Hope Solo, and I think that caused me to be a bit of an outcast on the team. So I had to make sure that I was proving myself each and every day. And I felt that over the years I was doing some great things, maybe not necessarily scoring a goal or making an assist, but I was playing some great soccer and doing well and felt that I wasn't getting the recognition that I deserved. So playing with a chip on my shoulder was why I did that. Now things have shifted. Obviously people know about me, they notice me, they respect me. Now it's all about finishing out the remainder of my career for the next 3 years. And, just the motivation there is to enjoy it and to continue to get better. It's not to prove people wrong or, anything like that. It's to reward myself for all the hard work.
Carli, does anything prepare a young developing athlete, we'll talk about soccer, for the politics of the game?
No. James has navigated me through every single challenge I've faced, whether it was with a coach, whether it was with a teammate, with the media, everything. I mean, people don't realize how much of an influence he's had on me. So